Most roller coasters open to the public without issue and continue to operate for years to come. But what happens when a ride so problematic opens it's considered a golden ticket to see operating? Opening at King's Dominion in 2001, Hypersonic XLC was an SNS Sensei compressed air launch coaster prototype. See the issue here already? Prototype. Not only was the attraction filled with flaws, it was also filled with riders in the queue that would more than likely never actually make it on the ride without it going down. Shortly after opening, the ride closed for 3 months, just because being closed almost every day wasn't enough. The ride went through several modifications to increase rider comfort and safety. Instead of King's Dominion saving money from buying the prototype, they ended up with a barely functional mess of a ride. The ride officially closed in 2007. Opening as a sequel to The Beast, Son of Beast opened at Kings Island in 2000. Designed by Werner Stengel and manufactured by Roller Coaster Corporation of America, Son of Beast is probably one of the most infamous coasters ever built, and rightly so. The ride was claimed by many to be incredibly rough, which leads us a few years forward. In 2006, a bent on the Rose Bowl element snapped, causing the track to severely sag. The next train to go through stopped due to the damage on the track, causing several minor injuries. Son of Beast's vertical loop was removed and trains were replaced. The ride operated without incident. Until 2009. A woman who had previously ridden the ride complained about a head injury from the sheer roughness of the ride, thus causing it to permanently close and be torn down. Vertigo opened in 2007 at Walibi, Belgium. Designed and manufactured by Doppelmayr, who mainly creates cable car and ski lift systems, which they should absolutely stick to, just looking at the outcome of their first and only coaster. Seriously, how do you mess up a ride this bad? It was so shockingly sensitive. This caused the ride to go down just as bad as Hypersonic XLC. When Intamin makes a ride shockingly more reliable than a basic cable car coaster, alone, that says enough. The ride featured an elevator lift hill and suspended vehicles which can freely swing. Other than that, the ride was pretty boring and more for views than thrills, which proves the name of the ride wrong. And the fact something as basic as this was more unreliable than any world-class amusement ride is just sad. After less than 1 year, the ride closed due to the cost of maintaining the ride. Just a quick note to parks, don't buy a roller coaster from somebody who does not specialize in them. Thanks. Ring Racer was another one of SNS Sensei's creations. Nürburgring of Germany, who bought the ride, wanted it to duel the racetrack right next door, which, as you can tell already, due to the ride actually barely operating, it never even did. What a surprise. SNS, what's with you guys and your wacky field concepts? Come on. The ride was initially supposed to launch over 135 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds with a launch acceleration of over 5 Gs. The only time that speed was ever reached, the launch system literally exploded, causing gas in surrounding buildings to completely shatter. At this point, you can't even be surprised. A coaster braking as fast as a Mazapan when you open the wrapper. With a total operating time of less than 5 days, this may be one of the shortest lived coasters ever. Orphan Rocker opened at... I'm just kidding. This ride never opened, and Scenic World Australia still tries to push it as, we're gonna open it soon. Like, just looking at the ride and its shaping alone, I know very well this ride was not designed by somebody with any knowledge whatsoever of coasters or proper design. Oh wait, they didn't. Which is probably a good reason why this ride has not opened after almost 40 years as of today. Small sections of track have been removed, somewhat confirming the demise of this ride. Orphan Rocker is a massive mystery, even to the coaster community. Unfortunately, the transparency behind Scenic World is something we can't get. Being honest, if I were to own such a horrid ride, I wouldn't want people to know the truth either. The ride's vehicles were able to rock, and the placement of the ride gave a great view of the Orphan Rock, making the name of this coaster concerning yet quite fitting. Always remember, if you can't make a coaster, just hire somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Thank you for watching.